entering his 17th season, and he sat down with Complex, talked about how much longer he plans on playing. Take a listen.
I do know I'm kind of just taking it in 2-year chunks, just to know, like, you have to give yourself something and some motivation to kind of go after. For us, like, I talked to all the guys who have been in this situation where they've extended their prime, and, you know, there are more ungraceful endings than there are,
sure.
You know, I tip the cap and like that type of thing. I just want to be in a position where I've accomplished, or I put myself in a position where I can say I've done everything I can to, you know, get everything out of this game, and hopefully I have, you know, my health and the choice to say I'm
hanging
good.
It up.
I'm good. I'm not nowhere close to that though.
For sure. So we got some more years from you.
For sure.
Oh, man, well, Steph fans will love that. The rest of the Western Conference, maybe not so much. Welcome to NBA Today. I'm Vanessa Richardson, and of course, for Malika Andrews. Joined here today in our LA studios, we've got senior writers Ramona Shelburne, Tim Bontemps, and we are also joined by Anscape's David Dennis Jr. DDJ, you've been around Curry for over 20 years. What does Steph's last stretch of his career look like?
So here are two things I could say about what the end of Steph Curry's career is going to look like. That'll sort of be a testament to the greatness that I expect. One is, no matter if this is 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line, when Steph Curry gets hot in a given quarter, it'll always be the greatest show in basketball, maybe the greatest show in sports. It'll be something that people will always be calling about and saying, hey, Steph is catching fire and he's raining threes, no matter when that happens in his career. The other thing is that at the very last game, important game that he plays, again, whether it's 3 years, 4 years, whatever, when he crosses half court, he's going to get double teamed, because he will always be a guy who strikes fear in defenders until he, you know, walks away from the game. He will always be somebody who will be a versatile offensive dude. And all respect to my guy Steph, he's never quite relied on athleticism and explosiveness and all that stuff, so he doesn't have to worry about that falling by the wayside. The shot will be there, the ball movement will be there, and he will be somebody who will be part of a team that can be at least making noise in the playoffs just by virtue of having him on that team.
You hear David saying 3 years, 4 years. Tim, Steph turns 38 in March. So how can the Warriors maximize the rest of his career?
I mean, I think it's what they've been doing, right? They traded for Jimmy Butler last year. They've gone out and tried to get, you know, talked about getting LeBron James and obviously some things that are more fantasy trades than real trades in the past, and they've made other moves to try to get better. We'll see what happens the rest of the summer once they get the Jonathan Kuminga situation sorted out. I think it's likely that Al Horford winds up there. DeAnthony Melton, who was there last year before he tore his ACL, could wind up there too. The Warriors are going to try to straddle a couple things, right? If they can get a move where they can go all in to get another star at some point, I'm sure they'll try to do that. Joe Lacob and Mike Dunleavy and the Warriors front office has always been extraordinarily aggressive in trying to maximize how good this team can be. But Steph Curry also understands, as he said there, that he has chosen to finish his career with the Warriors. He wants to play his whole career there, as he should. And so the goal is for everybody involved to try to have the Warriors be as good as they can be for the rest of Steph's career, and for Steph to finish his career as a one-team player and go down like Tim Duncan and Kobe Bryant and Dirk Nowitzki and some of these all-time great players who have I think the special way their career played out, where they get to win a title and spend their whole career playing for one franchise.
He said, I'm going to take this in 2-year increments. And I think what's great that happened last year when they traded for Jimmy Butler is they finally have clarity now. This is what they're doing. They're maximizing the Steph Curry next 2 years. But he also said, I can see myself playing for 3 or 4 years. Right. And so I don't know what happens after those 2 years, but I do know they have picked a lane. There was this two-timeline era for a while. They were kind of trying to bring along Kuminga and some of those other young guys and say, you guys are going to be the torch, you're going to pass the torch to those. That's not happening anymore. This is now Steph Curry's all in. We're just going to keep making trades and trying to maximize these 2 years. Steve Kerr was lined up with him. Jimmy's lined up with him. Draymond Green's lined up.
Yeah, all the veterans.
So, you know what? For the next 2 years, they got clarity. And I think Steph will, as David said, I think he does age well. I just can't believe he's going to be 38. That's unbelievable. He's still, I was going to say he still looks like he's 12, but then I see videos of him earlier in his career, and I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
He looks like he's 12 and now 15 or 17.
Well, speaking of age, he's not the only unk in the league. At the age of 37, in just over 4 months, Steph is the 8th oldest player currently on an NBA roster. Now, he will go down a spot when Al Horford inevitably signs somewhere. Steph trails a group that includes CP3 and LeBron James. And just in case you were wondering, the oldest player since 1950, how about this name? Kevin Willis. You guys remember
Kevin
him?
Willis,
He ended his career in April of 2007 at the age of 44 years and 224 days. LeBron would need to play on opening night of the 2020-30 season to pass Willis. So in a league that seems to be getting younger and younger and younger, LeBron and Steph continue to just really push that needle, both making All-NBA second team last season. DDJ, do you think Steph and LeBron have one more title run in their careers?
Look, the last thing I'm going to do is sit here and count Stephen Curry and LeBron James out. I'm not doing it. And with the parity in the league, who knows what will happen in the next few years. They can slide in, injuries happen for other teams, things like that. Who knows? I'm not counting those dudes out. But what's the most fascinating thing about this is the LeBron side of this. Steph, as we said, we kind of know what these next few years are going to be like. He's going to be a warrior. They're going to retool in a couple years. They're going to figure this out. LeBron James, at the beginning of February, we felt like we knew what the end of his career was going to look like. He's going to play with the Lakers for a couple years, try to get a championship, and that'll be it. The Luka Doncic thing, adding him has changed the trajectory of the Lakers, and it's changed the trajectory of LeBron James's career. Now we know, I can imagine he's going to finish this year with the Lakers, despite all the stuff that him and Rich Paul have said and everything's happened in the offseason. But the year after that, I have no clue what that year of LeBron's career looks like. The Lakers don't know. LeBron doesn't know. I don't know if he'll be a Laker. I don't know if he'll end up at another team with another contender. This is probably the most question marks we've had about LeBron in his career since the beginning. The guy plans out everything. Now so much is up in the air, and that leaves a possibility of a championship run, or who knows, as he closes this thing out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the LeBron James situation will be interesting to see how it plays out over the next several months and over the next years to see where he plays next season and how this season plays out, presumably his final year with the Lakers. But I think when you look at where the league is sitting right now, we had a team last year that won 68 games, won the title, had 2 players over 27 on the roster, and their oldest player was 31. And they just gave the 3 stars on their team, who are all in their mid-20s or younger, about $1 billion, it felt like, combined in long-term contracts, right? So they obviously need some health. Obviously, see the Oklahoma City Thunder raising the Larry O'Brien trophy there. They need some health and some luck to be able to continue on and be the team that ends this era of parity that we're in. But if you look at how the playoffs played out, we saw the Pacers in the championship round with the Thunder, another young team with depth. You saw the Knicks, a pretty young team with a decent amount of depth, and the Minnesota Timberwolves, again, another team with a young group, a young nucleus led by Anthony Davis. I think we're seeing the league trend towards younger teams, deeper teams, being able to hold up in the physicality and the intensity and the pure athleticism you need to succeed in the league right now. So we'll see about teams like the Warriors and the Clippers and the Lakers that are more built around veteran players, older teams. But I think we're seeing a bit of a sea change, and I think the Thunder finally are positioned to be the team to end this era of parity we've been in and create the next dynasty in the league.
So I could have sat here last July and said a very similar thing about the Celtics. I think I probably did in July. And then the year before that, I think we said the same thing about the Nuggets, who had won a championship and had this young core that seemed like they had just hit their prime at the right time. And we just keep having new champions. Like each year, we think somebody is destined to go be